begging me.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But then, I was hearing that like at the end of the night when they closed the market, that I think like around like, 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that, they just start cashing people out of their Dogecoin. So like if you had, 1,000 shares of Dogecoin or whatever, they were just cashing you out at whatever it was at that time. Like, oh, sorry, this is too much of a gamble, so we closed out your account and paid you out. So you got money in your account, and it's like if I didn't want to sell this, you know what I mean? If I wanted to hold this, you've no longer given me that opportunity.
But I mean, you're using a third-party application, Robinhood. It's not like the open stock market. You can still buy Dogecoin and that stuff if you call like a stockbroker and you physically went and did that.
And what
route.
sucks
Yeah,
too,
but we're talking
You
about
know
the
what I'm saying?
average Joe.
I know, but the average
yeah.
Joe doesn't know how to play with the stocks, and
Right.
Robinhood was a way for the average Joe to play in the stocks. But for that benefit, you make yourself susceptible to their wins.
And I don't recommend anyone download Robinhood. I only used it because you could buy Dogecoin. For some reason, all the other apps you can't get Dogecoin, so I had to get that one. So if you comment in the comment section below if you know where else you can get Dogecoin. But anyways, for me, I was just buying and selling, making my, I would drop 500 into it. 3 minutes later, I would sell. I made $100. Then I'll drop 600 into it, sell. So I'm up to 800, 780 bucks on Dogecoin. I buy it, I go to sell it, and it's canceling my sale. It's like, your sale has been canceled. I'm like, what the heck? Your sale has been canceled. And then it locks my funds up. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go to sleep. I set my trigger. So if it goes up to a certain amount, it sells it for me automatically in my sleep.
It's one thing for them to block GameStop because the money that they're losing on, the hedge funds through shorting. But Doge wasn't shorted.
No.
Yeah, you can't short crypto.
So that's the thing that's weird. So my mind jumps to, I don't know if it's like a server, like a hardware problem, or like what you're saying. Like, I don't know if it's just because like when Walmart got destroyed, or when that stuff happens, I don't know if it's like a mechanical server software issue, or if there's this nefarious, desire to prevent you from making money. We want to make money, but we want to prevent you from making money. I don't
The
know
very
what it
next
is.
day,
I can see it being the latter though.
the very next day, they released a whole list saying these are the stocks that you can't trade. And then throughout the day, they're like, okay, now you can buy one GameStop stock a day. It's like,
funny.
what the?
They're playing
GameStop,
with
I
it.
get.
And then, no, there's a whole list. AMC.
No, I'm saying GameStop I get.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
understand the GameStop. It's the other ones that I can't get. I'm trying to understand.
So like
why.
throughout the
Yeah.
day, they're just shutting things down. Like, hey, you can't trade this. You can't trade this on Robinhood, of course. I use other applications for stocks, but for Robinhood, I got Dogecoin.
Because there's going to be a lot of people that get screwed.
Yeah,
There were a lot.
There's going to be
There's
a lot of
tons,
people because nothing can hold value. Everything goes up and up. I mean, everyone's not going to keep buying into it. If GameStop gets to be $1,000 a share, people are going to keep buying it at $1,000. I mean,
well, the hedge funds have to, but yeah.
the hedge funds have to pay back, all that money and the interest.
Yep.
Because when you borrow stock, you owe
Pay
interest too.
Yep.
So not only do you have to pay back the stock, but you have to pay back the interest on top of it, which is why shorting is so stupid. Because when you normally buy a stock, the most you can lose is zero. Right? If I spend $100 on a stock and the company tanks, the most I lose is my 100. But while shorting, you can infinitely lose. You can go
more.
negative
Yeah.
because of the interest and stuff. And if you can never pay it back, the interest keeps growing, and it's infinite losses.
Well, I mean, just with this GameStop play, I think 3 companies went bankrupt. They immediately called to hit the bankrupt button on their thing.
Yeah.
So, obviously they're not broke. They're just using that to like get out of
Get
that
bought
debt,
out by
and
somebody
then
else.
they still got all the money in their pockets. They'll come right back in and be back up and going. But at least it
bankruptcy
messed with
laws,
them a little bit, and it's on their account. But
Yeah.
I mean, I like that there was some challenging going on there. Obviously, we have to find something that will allow the average person to still be able to enjoy stocks without getting randomly limited because you say so. You know what I mean? Because I'm using your app and you don't like how I'm profiting or whatever, or you don't like
We
the
don't know
game that's
reasons, but
played.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I do know that Webull is a good app, and
That's the one I
that
use.
one
It's the best.
I've heard lots of recommendations for Webull, and then they were also still allowing GME, AMC, BlackBerry trades going on at the same time that Robinhood was stopping. Only problem is that they don't have anything like Dogecoin. I think they have Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and maybe
I
like
think
a
for
couple
me,
of
it
other
depends
coins,
on
but
how big the app is used. Like, um, should it fall under like federal law and regulation and constitutional rights? Like, because right now it isn't. You know, companies have complete autonomy. Everything, Twitter, all
right.
sorts of services do have complete autonomy to do whatever they want to do to you. Shut your
Yeah.
account down. Shut your Robinhood account down. Shut your Twitter account down. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I do think like once a company gets to be large enough, it should fall under the umbrella of like constitutional rights. It should fall under that because they end up becoming such large open forums that they become more of like a utility rather than a service. Like I think Twitter's hit that point. I think Facebook's hit that point. I'm sure some of these stock apps are going to be getting to that point. At what point? What is it? 100 million, 50 million? I don't know at what point, but at some point they become so large that I think they become more of a utility and something people should just have open use to without any fear of anything hurting them than having the company have complete autonomy.
Right.
Because they have too much power.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we saw that. I mean, whether you agree or not, like with the shutting down of like the president's account, the ability to just do that is incredible to me. You know, that they have the power to do that, whether or not you think he should have been or not, that a company just has the ability, right, to silence the government.
Well, they do
is
it.
Incredible to me.
I mean, they're just silencing like anybody. I mean, you post anything on Twitter or something like that somebody may have found offensive or broke the violations, right? They have the rules there, so those rules would get your shit.
But they are very selective. They are very
off,
selective on who they silence, because there's lots of people that violate the terms of service that don't get shut down.
There's definitely a lot that don't get spotted, but if they do get reported, they will get taken down.
And there's lots that get spotted that don't get taken down. Many.
I don't know.
I've seen
I don't know if
many
they're
tweets
getting
that
spotted
break the
and not
violation
getting
that are still up to this very day.
But yeah,
many tweets. And so what I'm saying is, I'm just talking about the general notion of them being able to shut you down, even if you're saying something mean to people. I just don't see any whatever. Let people be mean to each other. Like, I think we need to act when people do something wrong, but people just talking, I don't think that any corporation, I don't care who they are, Twitter, Facebook, who they are, should have the ability to shut you down or shut me down or shut anybody down for speaking whatever they say or believe. And I think that's a problem, and I think it's a problem here with Robinhood that they're shutting people down for whatever reason. I don't think they should shut anyone down unless they're actually doing something illegal or wrong. Then I think they should be shut down. But otherwise, no.
I thought it was interesting that some of these, I don't know, they call them fat cats or whatever from the hedge funds. They're saying that the average Joe needs to get locked up because we're committing crimes. I'm like, really?
This is the
we're
same
committing
game
crimes?
you play.
We're marketing. How am I marketing manipulating? Going on Reddit, some guy's like, hey, buy this stock. It's like if you go play a game and you're like, hey,
go play
this game.
And then the game sells like millions of copies.
It's like
because everybody got together
because
and bought the game.
You can't control if everyone does it.
No.
Like, you can go on there and you can say something, and they do that all the time. They went on there and they started to they talk about the doom and gloom, right? These hedge fund guys, they go on CNN or whatever, the news, and they talk about how something's tanking, it's going to go down.
Panic.
They're making panic. They're manipulating too. Like, how is it any different than Wall Street Bets going on there and saying, "Hey, let's all together go and buy this," right?
Yeah, dude. It's just
everyone's talking and doing
but,
that.
Power to the players. GameStop. Shout out to that saying, because I think the company is gonna tank. But this has nothing to do with the company. You know what I mean? This has.
How do you think GameStop feels?
They feel great, dude. They've been tweeting like, "Hey,
dude,
I hope
let's
go."
Hey, can they do something with this money?
Like they're a meme.
Can they do something with this money? Like, does this put more money in their pocket?
So, essentially, the people who own GameStop, they have shares and whatnot. So their shares are worth a lot more. So they could technically,
but does
sell
GameStop
their
own any of their own shares?
shares once it tanks.
Does GameStop own any of the shares?
Well,
I think
GameStop
it's
is only made
GameStop
up of
is
people.
made of
Of only
people,
made up
like
of people.
the board or
But
whatever.
I think what you mean is, does
Like-
GameStop itself become valuable? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I'm
Like
just trying
the
to say.
company,
I'm
like
just
the-
trying to
the
say.
store?
Yeah.
Are they able to leverage any of this in the short term? And like, hey, what
I
can we
don't
do,
think
guys?
so.
It's not the
because-
short term. It's basically like once their market price or whatever is once their stock has risen to a certain point and then it stays like that for a certain period, then their market value has increased. So their cap is increased and whatnot. So I think maybe that's got something to do with like credit or something that they could use that. but
Yeah, credit is
I don't
probably a
know.
great one. It's probably
But-
Marcus. You're probably right. It's probably they can borrow more. They become more of a
being able to do
solvent
more
company.
and be able to
but-
move around.
But yeah, I don't think because this is more of an artificial rise. I mean, markets are supposed to determine actual value of a company. Of course, in a lot of ways, it doesn't, like we're talking about right now with all the manipulation.
Mhm.
But and this is also it's manipulation in the sense that it's artificial, right? GameStop isn't rising in price because of its value; it's rising in price because everyone's banding
situation.
together, yeah,
But
and
that's
raising the price.
but I mean essentially that's kind of like, what people deem it like, if we all deem that this is valuable, right? I'm going to buy some of it, and because a bunch of people thought it was valuable, they bought more of it.
yeah, but
it
we're not
increased the value.
we're not seeing the value because GameStop is valuable.
Yeah.
Mark, I think Mark knows what I'm
There
saying.
are
We
there are
see the
some people
value
who are
because-
holding the GameStop because they believing in GameStop. And then there's the millions of people who are just putting in the GameStop because they want to profit from
Right.
GameStop. So
Right.
yeah,
That's my
there
point.
are the
Yeah.
people who do value GameStop,
GameStop
and see it.
in and
I
of
see
its-
GameStop as kind of cheaters and like
Yeah.
vultures of the
I hear
gaming
you.
community
Yeah.
and whatnot. And I feel like there can be a lot of things that they should change, to make things more valuable to the gamers and not just trying to go for pure profit.
yeah, but
another
that,
thing
that
is
falls
like,
on us to not go there any longer,
Yeah.
right?
right?
And they're hurting from it because their business model's failing.
Which is why they were at
which is why they're
$15,
tanking, and which is why I
you know,
agree with
per
Mark that I
stock.
think they will tank, and I think the shorters were right. It was going to hit zero at some point in time.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's not now. It's been delayed, and they can't hemorrhage forever. They don't have infinite money, and so they will lose. But a lot of people will too, because a lot of people who bought in above $100 or whatever at what point are going to lose a lot of money too. But it's like Mark's saying,
If you bought in
losing
above 100, you
500
lost.
or whatever across millions of people is nothing,
Nothing,
compared to losing all your wealth at once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I think it was a very interesting time. I think this day will go down in history.
Dude, this is-
GameStop is going to be historic
Yeah.
for all the wrong reasons.
I was cracking up, man. I was watching because everyone's live streaming it and watching it,
Mhm.
and one guy was like, people are always talking like, is it too late to invest in Radio Shack?
He'll bring Radio Shack back from the
yeah,
dead,
can
bro.
I invest in Radio
Dude.
Shack? I'm flying Radio Shack to the moon.
Dang,
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
jump in. Radio Shack, 1 penny, 1 penny.
Man.
the company's gone already, but
Yeah,
you know what I
but-
mean. Like it's just funny,
Dude.
man.
But I tell you what, like I just recently started investing in stocks and stuff like that, like literally this year,
Mhm.
month of January. But that was probably the most fun I had just yesterday playing with Dogecoin.
Yeah.
And just, like I bought some and then I just let it sit to see how long it would go and where it would go. You know what I mean? Just because, I'm just in it for the ride. It's like they're literally like pennies. Yeah, I came in at like 2 cents a share. You know what I mean? So, it's like going
Dude, it
going
wasn't
to the
long
table
ago-
and betting blackjack $25. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I
long
lose
ago-
that. I
yeah,
lose
I
it.
know. Everyone
You know
was
what I mean?
playing.
It's
Like I
whatever.
said, it's like Vegas.
Yeah,
But
and
there
it
was,
was
a
so
time
low.
when Dogecoin was like what one millionth of
Point
a penny.
zero zero
Yeah,
zero zero.
it was worth like 1/100th of a penny. Imagine if you bought then.
Hey,
There
dude.
was
Like,
people there was a lot
you
of
could buy
people
a
that
lot
were
of
talking
Dogecoin
about
with
that they had just bought Dogecoin just cause,
It was,
and like they were able to capitalize on this little rise
because it peaked
to
at 8 cents.
dude, you could have bought a million Doge
8
for like
cents.
$1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it hits $1.
Now you're a million.
Right now you're a millionaire. like people are wondering if it'll hit $1, but I mean,
Nah, I think
doubt
I
it
was
it.
peaked.
hoping it looked
It,
like
peaked,
it.
it peaked
it-
at 8 cents.
Yeah, the problem is it's
But
an
I
infinite
think
currency.
I think it could
That's
have.
the problem.
I think it could have hit that dollar or at least 50 cents if they hadn't started doing that
Oh, yeah.
limited
Oh, yeah.
buy.
Robin
Where
Hood
you
really
couldn't even
messed up.
do, because Robinhood bottlenecked it. So like you couldn't even put any new money into your account and then start to buy the currency with that.
Yeah, I think there has to be something else there other than them just wanting to keep you from making money, because it doesn't matter. A lot of people are going to lose money. Like you let people buy it up. Like
Right.
there's gonna be a lot of people who lose money. On
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
that
It's like
gamble.
normal
it doesn't
trans,
matter,
like stocks
you
and
know?
crypto. That's
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't
how it
matter,
is.
you
It
know?
should have
Like, let
been
people
left
buy it
alone.
up,
Yeah,
because
it
people will lose the money, have to pay it back, and it's
'Cause-
gonna go like this no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And
you
what
know?
what I don't get is like at the end of the day, right? Every cryptocurrency transaction that you make, they take a small percentage of it. So they
Right,
made
they
money
make
off
money,
of
which is why
every
I don't think it's
purchase
necessarily
and sell
nefarious.
of
I think there's something on the
cryptocurrency.
back end that's making it difficult for them.
So
And it's not Robinhood. You know, they have a
yeah, it's Apex
It's
made-
Holdings.
it's
Citadel
owned by
or
a couple
whatever,
of
right?
Nah, theirs is
no, the
Apex.
middleman who does the trading for them.
There's 2 or 3
Not
brokerages
who
that they
owns
work.
them, but
There's like
who
2
does
or
the-
There's
who
something
does
there.
the-
Citadel
who
was
does the
something in
yeah,
there, yeah,
Citadel is
something.
one of the ones that does some of
Yeah.
the middle groundwork,
Right.
and they may not be able to. I mean, who knows? I don't know. It is ironic though, right? A app named Robinhood
It's not giving
not
to the
really
poor.
Robinhood. Yeah,
He's not giving
Yeah.
to the poor. He's
Yeah,
just
dude.
stealing.
Yeah.
But-
But that day, the day after, Robin Hood borrowed like $1 billion to try to make sure that they had enough to
Payout.
process these transactions.
Yeah, I think that's a problem, right? There's probably more problems. It's probably more. That's what I mean. More nuanced than just they want to make us lose, right?
You know they catching all that on the back end from them dummies that shorted Gamestop.
Oh, and they are. Yeah,
They getting all
Yeah.
that money
Yeah.
back from them.
they're getting hit
But
hard.
yeah, I guess maybe they were trying to stop the bleeding, but it's like, come on, man, you're in this business for this stuff. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you just
Business as
you
usual.
see the market
They're
going
making
that
money
way, you
too.
just
Yeah.
put your money into it too and watch that
Mhm.
rise with them. Like, hey, dude, run this
Mhm.
shit up. Let me throw mine in Dogecoin too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Robinhood has just invested $45 billion in Dogecoin. You know what I mean? Like, they could play with that stuff too. I don't know if that's insider trading if they're the brokers and they're trading their own money, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I don't know. that
shouts
one.
out to everybody who decided to play around in the Dogecoin
The
game.
Dogecoin game.
If you were one of the ones who got in at the low point for GameStop, kudos to you. I saw that and I didn't jump in when it was 20 because I was like, oh, I ain't even got it. I didn't have it. If I had just gotten the 20, I would have loved to have
Few
sold at
$100,
400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it peaked real high. But yeah, so I mean, that's all we got for you
Yeah,
this
that's all we
week.
got.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Click that thumbs up button. Maybe down in the comments, tell us if you won some money from Dogecoin, or maybe if you started your investment venture with all this hoopla and stuff like that. Because I feel like everybody and their mom did something with this. You know, it was
Yeah.
just too easy.
Millions and millions of people, man.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So yeah. But until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.